But another wide receiver that comes to my mind that should be in the Hall of Fame is Torry Holt. This guy was literally part of the greatest show on turf. He has over 13,000 receiving yards, 74 touchdowns. I don't know if you actually knew this. So he actually had 8 1,000-yard seasons in a row, but he actually has a record. He has a record 1,300-yard plus seasons, or he has 6 1,300-yard seasons in a row.
Dang.
A record 6 1,300-yard seasons.
Yeah, I
T.O.'s
mean, when you
never
think
done
of the
that. Randy Moss has never done that. Larry Fitzgerald, he's never done that. Like, that is absolutely insane. And it's such a freaking tragedy that he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's got 7 Pro Bowls, and I don't know. He's also been a first team All Pro as well, Super Bowl champion. And at the time that he retired with the 10th most receiving yards in the history of the NFL when he retired. So
man,
I don't really understand how he's not in the Hall of Fame. Again, soft spoken, doesn't really create a lot of attention. I mean, it took Isaac Bruce forever to get in, and he's got over 15,000 receiving yards, but you never hear a word come out of his mouth. So, what are your thoughts about Torry Holt, man?
yeah, you got to wonder if the fact that Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce played together kind of hurt them a little bit. Granted, Isaac finally got in, good for him. Torrey absolutely deserves to be in. Like you said, 10th all time in receiving yards. Like, obviously he should be in. He was a part of some, one potential dynasty that we thought was going to unfold with the greatest show on turf Rams in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
Obviously, when you think of that team, you can't talk about that team without talking about Kurt Warner, Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, and Torrey Holt. Like, those
absolutely.
were the offensive guys. And so, all 4 of those guys are probably Hall of Famers, not just
Oh,
because they were
and
great.
Orlando Pace, that left tackle.
Yeah, him too. That was just a dynamite team. But yeah, I mean, stats wise, I don't know how you can deny Torrey Holt into the Hall of Fame. Like, clearly, I think he'll be in eventually. But maybe the fact that they never became the dynasty that everybody wanted them to kind of hurts them. And also, he's playing opposite Isaac Bruce. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine if you had only Torrey Holt as your, wide receiver number 1, and you didn't have any other comparable
Mm,
targets. He could
right.
have racked up, who knows what kind of stats in that offense.
Thank you for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of This Guy's Sports Talk.